Imagine walking into a room where no one looks like you, no one sounds like you. The conversations, the energy, the inside jokes, they're all built around an experience that you don't share. And before you've even spoken a word, the message is clear. You don't belong here. That's what it felt like when I walked into my computer science class. Out of every 10 students, only one was a girl. At first, I ignored it because maybe it was just my school. But then I looked at the numbers. According to a Harvard Business Review, in the US, only 23% of women make up the tech workforce. In Europe, 19%. And in China, where the startup scene is insane, only 8% of chief technology officers are women. If this were any other field, medicine, law, even politics, people would be so much more outraged. But in tech, we act like this is normal. And that's the issue. Because when we accept this gender gap as normal, we also accept the consequences. And trust me, the consequences are enormous. This is the hidden crisis. What happens when AI becomes biased? We talk a lot about AI, how it's revolutionizing industries, how it is shaping our future. But here's what we don't talk about. AI is already biased, and not by accident. AI doesn't just wake up one day and decides it likes men better. No, it learns from us, from our history, our decisions, our data. And our history, it's overwhelmingly male-dominated. So when AI is trained on biased data, it doesn't just reflect the past, but instead it amplifies it. Take hiring algorithms, for example. AI-driven systems have been shown to rank male candidates higher than equally qualified female candidates. The result? The result is that we're losing brilliant minds, not because women can't do the work, but because they're told in 1,000 small ways that they don't belong here. In healthcare, AI has been found to prioritize male patients, leading to the underdiagnosis of women's medical issues. Now let me ask you something. If AI decides who gets loans, who gets healthcare, and who gets medical treatment, what happens when that AI is biased? The answer is simple. It fails us, not just women, all of us. Because when we leave entire perspectives out of the development process, we don't just create flawed technology, but we create a flawed world and a flawed future. The scariest part is that we don't even realize it's happening. Why are women missing from tech? Let's break this down. This isn't about talent. Girls perform just as well as boys do in STEM subjects in elementary school. But somewhere along the way, something changes. By high school, fewer girls take advanced math and computer science classes. By college, even fewer enroll in tech majors. And those who do, many leave the field before they're even given the chance to thrive. Why? Because they're navigating an environment that wasn't built with them in mind. Imagine showing up to a race only to realize your start line was 10 steps behind everyone else's. Then as you sprint to catch up, hurdles appear in your lane that no one else has to jump over. That is what it feels like to be a woman in tech. You have to run faster, jump higher, and prove yourself over and over again just to be seen as equal. The result is that we are losing brilliant minds, not because women can't do the work, but because they're told in 1,000 small ways that they don't belong here. Here's the real issue. When women are excluded from tech, it's not just women who lose. The entire world suffers. Tech isn't just another industry. It shapes everything, nowadays more than ever. It shapes our education, our healthcare, our justice system. And when the teams designing these systems are biased, we don't just get bad technology, we get technology that only works for one type of person. Think about seatbelts. For years, car safety tests were conducted using crash test dummies based on the average male body. And according to a University of Virginia study, Women were 47% more likely to be seriously injured in car crashes than men. That is what happens when you build something for only one type of person. Now apply that logic to AI, to healthcare, to our justice system, to education. We can do better than this, and we have to. And if you think this is getting better, let's talk about 2024. According to a research study done by Max Cuvelier-Giacomelli for Healthcare in Africa, I quote, "There is no way to sugarcoat this. 2024 has been abysmal when it comes to the representation of female-led and female-founded ventures in startup funding. Female CEOs attracted only $40 million in funding last year, or over 800 million rand, whereas their male counterparts received over $2.2 billion, or over 40 billion rand. So, what can we do? Number one is to start early. We need to introduce coding and tech to girls from a young age, not as an afterthought, but as a priority. Show them female role models in tech. Let them know that this field is for them too. And number two is to fix the hiring issue. Companies need to actively recruit, support, and retain women. That means clear, bias-free hiring practices. That means mentorship programs. That means fixing a system that currently pushes women out before they're even given the chance to thrive. And number three is to make AI accountable. The tech we build must be audited for bias. Companies should ensure their algorithms work for everyone, not just the people who trained them. Because fair AI isn't optional. It's the foundation of a just future. This is the future that we need. Imagine a world where a girl walking into a computer science class doesn't feel like the only one. A world where AI doesn't just reflect the past, but actually helps build a better future. A world where women's voices aren't just included in tech, but they help lead it. That world is possible, but only if we make it that way. So pay attention to your schools, to your companies, to the tech that is shaping your life. These things don't fix themselves. And if you have a sister, a daughter, a friend, imagine them walking into a room where they don't have to fight for a seat at the table, where the table was built with them in mind. Because wouldn't it be great if next year, when your little sister walks into computer science and half the room is girls? Thank you.